Three questions we always ask, even me as a guitar player when I first started playing guitar. What is intonation and how important is that? And at the same time, how do I know if my guitar is not perfectly in tune or there's something wrong with the intonation? Hello everyone, my name is Quincy and today we're going to talk about how to properly intonate your guitar. So if you're here to watch the beginner's way on how to tune your guitar, maybe this is not a video for you, okay? I think you should check my previous video. It's a complete guide on beginner's way on how to tune your guitar using the headstock, the tuning keys, and of course the tuner. I want to make myself clear. We're going to talk about not tuning it on the headstock, okay? We're going to use the bridge, the saddle on the bridge. Okay, what is the bridge? Okay, this is a bridge part of the electric guitar. And we're going to talk about electric guitar, not acoustic guitar, because it's a different way of how to intonate your guitar using the acoustic. They don't have a saddle or they don't have the bridge, okay? So you need a luthier, an expert to adjust your acoustic guitar. But for electric guitar, I think I can help. That's the reason and the purpose of this video.
So, what is intonation? It is the accuracy of your pitch that the notes formed are in tune, not flat or sharp. How do you intonate an electric guitar?
Instead of the tuning on the headstock, you're going to adjust this part as I said earlier, the bridge part, the metal part on the back part of the guitar, okay? This is what you call the bridge, and these are the saddles, okay? So that's where you adjust the tuning. Aside from the tuning keys on the headstock, you have this little screws here. There you go. This little screws in here. Okay, that's where you intonate your guitar. And how important is that? Remember on my previous video, as I mentioned to you, like no matter how good you are, when you play and you realize after, especially if it is recorded, and then while you're watching, while you were reviewing the videos you did, and then you notice, how come the other string is not in tune? Although I know that I'm perfectly playing it right, and so, why is it out of tune? It's maybe because of the intonation, okay? And it happens to me. Trust me, you're gonna be really disappointed because no matter how good your performance is, and even though what you're doing is right, it will still not sound good. And the third question is, how do you know if there's something with your intonation? Okay, let me demonstrate to you. So when you play a guitar, sometimes it's not too obvious for you when you play here, okay? But once you reach here on the upper register, it becomes obvious that even though you're playing the right note, sometimes it can be either flat or sharp. What do I mean by flat? Flat means lower in tune. Let's say if I'm playing in a D note, it might be a D flat, or sometimes it can be sharp, a bit sharp. Sometimes it can be too obvious, and sometimes it's also not too obvious. But literally, you can hear that. Okay. So how do you adjust this one? Okay, let me show that to you. Every time you play on a higher register, it becomes obvious. Now my E, I'm playing an E note, which is on the top of the thickest string here, the E. As you can see, remember on our previous video, the pin should be on the middle, right? Okay, never mind if it goes a bit down sometimes because it's just the vibration and the way it sustains it, okay? It cannot be perfectly in tune all the time. It can be like this. This one is already good. Yep, that one stays there for a bit long, okay? But the problem earlier when I told you it becomes too obvious when you play up here. So let me check mine. As you can see earlier, it was green, right? The pin is in the middle. But now every time I play on the 12th fret, it's a bit flat, okay? Can you see that? Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna put it a little bit higher so you can see. Now it's perfectly there, right? But when I play on the higher fret, it becomes flat. Flat means, oh, now I'm perfect. See, it's behind that E1, the E note. Okay, so how do you adjust that? Okay, let me zoom that to you real quick so you can see. Before you do this part, make sure the neck is straight, the string heights are according to what you really like. Otherwise, you're gonna end up repeating everything again. It's actually simple. You really have to put time in it. Okay, these are the screws. Behind it, there's the screws on every electric guitar. Okay. Every bridge, there's a saddle. The screws are at the back, okay? So every time you tighten the screws, the note becomes sharp. You don't tighten it like you don't care, okay? Do it really slow. And every time you tighten the screw, tune it, okay? If it is sharp, you loosen it. What's that mean? It means your saddles, if it's a bit sharp, you have to loosen the string, the screws here, so the saddle goes forward. It's, as you can see, the saddles here. So it's either going forward or going backward, okay? If it is sharp, then you have to loosen the screw. So that means all the saddles will go forward, okay? But if the notes are a bit low, you have to tighten the screw. That means the saddle will go backwards here. So two ways, go forward and go backwards here, okay? So every time you tighten the screw, it becomes sharp. So you better make sure, after you tighten it, make sure you tune it here. If it's sharp, loosen it and tune it again. So you're gonna do that individually with every saddle, okay? This is the fastest explanation I can do. So again, if it is sharp, okay, where every time you in tune and then sharp, loosen this one so it goes this way, okay? But if it is flat, tighten it and the saddle will go backwards, okay? That means it becomes sharp. And every time, tune, okay? And do it patiently, okay? Thanks for watching and I hope it helps you again. See you on my next video.